Hi friends, it's Diana here today, and today I've got this gorgeous ITY fabric from Millie May, and I thought this would make a beautiful like tiered dress. And I thought the first thought obviously was for the staycation dress, but I wanted a high neck dress with a sleeveless high neck, and I've seen some inspiration and I was like, oh my gosh, I wonder if I can grab the sunny day and this staycation pattern and combine them to create this dress that's in my mind. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to combine those two beautiful patterns and we're going to see how it turns out. So let's do it. Let's get started with the sew along. I am going to be cutting out my fabric. I am using the longer top skirt, and then I'm cutting that twice, and then I am going to use the bottom skirt once. Well, I'll cut it out 2 times, but I'm just adding 1 layer. So I'll have 2 layers of the skirt, the main bodice and the 2 layers of the skirt. I am not changing anything with the length or anything like that. And then the bodice of the sunny day, I am doing exactly how it is on the pattern. I'm not changing length. I'm not doing anything. So I'm cutting out 2 main and 2 liner for that. We start by placing the 2 main bodice front and back right sides together at the shoulder, and then we also grab our lining and put the front and back right sides together and sew them at the shoulders. I will be using a serger for this sew, but you can use any kind of stretch stitch on your sewing machine that you feel comfortable with. Now that those shoulders are sewn, we're going to put the outer layer up and then the liner right on top, and we're going to match the shoulder seams and sew around the neckline. I like to go ahead and use my serger for this step as well, but if you want less bulk, you can use a stretch stitch on your sewing machine and then clip around the seam allowance. If you used a sewing machine and you want to cut the seam allowance, you can, but I am just going to go ahead and turn it right side out by tucking the lining, the outer edges, the outer fabric out. If you want to go ahead and top stitch that neckline or stay stitch it, you can you're more than welcome to do that, but I'm not going to because I feel like sometimes that distorts my neckline. I like the look of the smoothness with nothing on there, and I don't mind a little bit of it showing. Next, we're going to do the burrito roll method, which is one of my favorite things to do. I love how it encases the seam allowance, so that way you don't see it. So I'm flipping my bodice out, so I'm going to flip it up. I'm going to open, so you're just going to open one side. Like here's my shoulder area right here, and it's open. I'm going to grab the other side. Hold on, let me open it all the way. There we go. It's open right side up. Right there. I'm going to grab the other side and I'm going to roll it towards that shoulder seam. So I'm rolling the other side towards the shoulder seam I will be doing first. Now as you can see, here's my shoulder seam for the other side, and here's my arm sides that match. This is my outer arm side, my liner arm side of the same side. So they have to be the same side and they have to match together. And then I'm going to go ahead and sew that arm side together. Now, if you want a more close-up look at the burrito method, we do have a video here on our YouTube channel. Now that we've sewn that shoulder, that arm side, you're going to pull through that tunnel. You created that little tunnel on your shoulder. You're going to pull your fabric through from the other side. So just pull it either side. You can pull it from the top or the bottom. It comes off nicely. Just be careful you don't pull too hard that you rip your stitches. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side to encase the other seam. Look at how cute that looks. It's so good. I love how it ends up finished. No seams. Look at that. All right, so now for the other side, we're going to go ahead and open it up. See that? Looks good. Open it up, face up, and there's my shoulder, and we're going to roll the other side in. Roll it in. The reason why you roll it is so it's easier to pull after and it doesn't tear your fabric. But now you see the arm side for the outer arm side and the liner arm side, and we meet them together just like we did earlier, and we sew around the arm side. All right, now that that's done, we're gonna go ahead and pull it through again and turn it right side out. Look at how good that looks. I love it. All right, now to sew our sides, we're gonna match up the front and back outer and front and back liner, match that side seam, and then sew the sides together, right sides together. Now we turn it around and our bodice is completed. It's all finished. I just love how it looks. I mean, all the finished things. And from here, you really could just make a reversible top and just hem the bottom. There's also a video on how to do that here on our channel, and or add just like a little ruffle or something like that. But I am going to go ahead and add the tiers to my skirt. So let's work on that. Now, I don't always love adding pockets because I don't like the bulk on dresses. I really don't. But I'm going to add one pocket because I wanted to show you how to do it, and I think I will enjoy having one pocket. So I'm placing my pattern piece over one of my pieces, my skirt pieces, and I'm seeing where the mark of my pocket is, and I'm going to place my pocket right sides together on top where the mark is, and I'm going to sew them together here at the raw edge. Now I'm also grabbing the other panel and I'm facing it right sides together. So both panels are faced right sides together because we got to put that other side of the pocket on the same side. I'm going to grab my pattern piece again and place the other side of my pocket on the other side. Again, right sides together with the pocket facing towards the bottom. And I'm going to sew that raw edge on this one as well. All right, now we're going to sew the sides of our skirts right sides together. I'm grabbing the pocket side first. I'm going to show you how to do that. We're going to place it out, place your pocket out face up, and then we're going to grab the other piece of fabric and we're going to place it right on top again, matching right sides together at that raw edge. We're going to sew all the way down the bottom, all the way up around the pocket. Now, if you'd like, you can top stitch, edge stitch this pocket here by pushing the seam allowance towards the pocket and top stitching right on the pocket side, and that will help the pocket not to poke out. But I don't usually love doing that, so I usually skip that step. It's a good step to follow, but sometimes I skip it. But anyway, we're going to continue to sew all the way around the pocket and up the side. Now for the straight sides, we're just going to go straight down the side and sew it all around. And we're going to do this for the top tier and for the bottom tier. While I'm at the sewing machine, I'm going to put in a basting stitch at the top of my top tier and at the top of my bottom tier so I can gather it to attach it to my bodice. All right, so now is basically our last step, which is attaching our skirts to our bodice. I like to mark my half on my top so I know exactly where I'm going to attach it. So I'm going to grab those side seams, place them together, and mark the front and back. Before I actually put in that basting stitch here at my skirt, I did mark my skirt halves by like doing a little notch on them to show where the front, sides, and back are. So that way it's easier for me when I pull this bobbin thread and gather the width of the bodice. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm pulling the bobbin thread and gathering the width of the bodice. I do this by using a basting stitch, which is the longest straight stitch on my sewing machine, and then just pulling the bobbin thread. But you can gather however you want to gather, but with a serger, with a gathering foot, it is up to you. But we're just going to gather at the width of our bodice. Then I like to go ahead and like attach it right sides together to those quarter points, to the sides and the fronts, and then even out the gathers so that they're nice and even all the way around. Once I do that, then I'm gonna sew them right sides together. And I'm gonna do that for here, the top skirt to the bodice. And then I'm gonna do the same with the bottom tier to the middle tier. So let's do both of those. I like to hurry my sews along, but look at how good it looks when you take your time and you spread out your gathers. Don't just rush and try to get this step done so that you can be done, like sometimes I try to do. Take your time and make sure that you are moving those gathers around so they look nice and even, because that's going to make a difference when your dress is finished. And then you want to use quite a few clips here because you don't want it to come ungathered or undone. Usually at the top, at the edge, or at the end where I started my sewing, I will put in a knot. I will tie the threads together so it doesn't slide off, especially with thinner fabrics like this ITY, where the thread just wants to slide off and ungather. So I do that for this. And once we sew this together, we are done with my dress. I am so excited. This is going to be super cute. All right, friends, we are done, and I completely love how this turned out. I've got my little pocket here. I just love this combination. I'm gonna have to make like a ton more for summertime. This is super cozy, throw on super quick. This fabric does not wrinkle, so it's amazing for just to throw something on and run out the door and look super cute. I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial. Please comment, like, share, subscribe, and let me know if you're going to try this mix and match of patterns. I'll see you all next time.